Hey guys, someone else here. Welcome to another Wizard101 video. And today, it is time to go over, before the next week comes on for Test Realm, it's time to look at currently the good, the bad, and the ugly of this current update. Now, this is a little different just because I'd like to just cover a little bit about the update before we see what comes in the current bug fixes and stuff coming to Test Realm on Monday. So, and also if you're looking at this, I will be probably after this video, I will be streaming Wizard101 preparing for Grandmaster Life PvP, as you can probably see here. That's what we're doing. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about, we'll start off with the good. Now, obviously the first good thing about this update has been the Crocotopia revamp. First of all, it looks absolutely beautiful. I would never, it's been a long time coming, and that is probably one of the best things that they could have done with Crocotopia. It looks amazing. Has not, now has it lived? Some of the models do need updated. There are a couple enemies that have not been fully updated yet, but will probably update as they continue going through Test Realm and fixing all the bugs. So that's fine. The other thing that I did see is there was enemies sometimes while in areas with T-pose. Once again, that's just a small little bug that will be fixed pretty easily. So, overall, it looks pretty good so far. The other good thing that we've seen is the concept of spell weaving and spell fusion. Very cool concepts, very good, and definitely very much appealing to people that are trying to, And also, the next big thing is the tutorials that we've seen.
Now you wish you'd snuck away while you had the chance.
The tutorials for spell weaving, well, not really spell weaving, but the gambit system, and also what's it called? Arc Mastery. Now that they have those tutorials, even more helpful, just because, now we finally have, people can learn about how gambits work and clears and all that before they even get, because since it will be needed for later game content, it's definitely something to have in your back pocket when you need it. Good. And spell fusion is obviously really cool just because, it takes two different spells, fuse them together, and now you have a totally different spell that also does it, and it combines the two gambits from the two schools that you're using into one. As we saw with the Grimzilla. And if you have seen the spell weaving, went to the spell weaving trees, you've seen the other fusions, and some of them look really good and will be very good in the long run. Now, I think we'll go ahead and talk about, I wouldn't really call it, I will call it a little bit bad, just because of reasons. And, well, I'm not going to hate on it a lot, but, well, no. One of the bad things is obviously, made a video on it, is the Great Empower Purge of the Great Test Realm Empower Purge, if you want to call it that. Just the cost of empowers skyrocketing down makes them almost near useless to sell for actual good amounts of gold, where there are, and the Bazaar system as a whole for selling stuff like pet snacks and such, especially if you have couch potato gardens, the amount that you're going to get for those is going down, which is not good. I agree totally that it needs to be fixed, and there needs to be some changes for that. That's really the mainly sort of bad thing about this whole thing. And lastly, we'll go ahead and get into the ugly. And this topic is, I saved this one as the ugly because it really needs to be addressed right now. And yes, it's early in the test realm, and there could be changes, but the labors. Some of the labors you know, some of them are going to take forever. You know, yes, I get it that they want you to, you know, it's sort of like this thing where you do it, you know, you go and do the ones to progress further.
See?
But the one thing that really I don't get is the fact that you need, you know, like 60 enemies. 60 normal mobs. That number, I think, is way too high. And then you have the 15 bosses. Okay, that's not as bad. If you're high enough level, yeah, no, that'll be easy. Easy work to do and easy to complete. You know, since you have the damage, you can easily delete those enemies. But for a little wizard that, you know, that is doing it at that level, it's going to take a good 10 minutes for a boss. Giving a benefit of the doubt if they actually have decent gear, probably about 10 minutes to set up and kill the boss with an AoE. Longer if they don't have gear and they're not set up to fight those things. You know? And then they have to do that 15 times.
Yes,
That time adds up, and the numbers for... and then, of course, numbers overall get worse. You know, and there was a big... somebody did a full calculation of if you did all the boss tasks for all the boss labors and all the minion labors, and it's a big number. I will link Sauce's video on it, description below. Check it out. He has the number, about the number, and that's the one thing that I think they need to maybe lower a little bit. Now, 15, you know, change it from 15 to 10. Okay, that's a lot more reasonable. Then maybe 60 down to maybe 45, 30 at the least. That would give you, you know, and since you get 2 per fight, you know, you're only fighting 15 fights. That's 15 minion fights. Not as bad, but still going to be a little tedious. But it's not going to be as bad as if you were trying to beat 60 of them. And especially, like I said, you know, the whole thing about, you know, overall, just, you know, the level you do it at. Because, you know, if you're getting into the spell weaving at level 100 and you're doing the labors, or at like max level doing the labors, you'll have no problem. It's easy work to get through all those mobs because you have the spells and you have the gear and spells to do it. Whereas a level 50 going in, if they haven't farmed up a lot, heck, there are some people with, you know, and I'm not getting, you know, obviously the newer players, you know, some of them that are actually like new players, you know, like new players, they're not going to have the same luxuries as somebody who has played for a long time with the pet, the gear. You know, they're just scraping by with what they can get out of either the bazaar or what they get from their mob drops.
Activate the crystal, and it shimmers
And,
to life.
you know, and I think this is something I think is one thing where this current update right now is very good overall, but definitely has a few things that need to be changed and addressed. Mainly some bizarre tweaks to maybe make the gold decay on a mount a little bit lower, make it decay not as much, so you're still getting decent amount of money. You know, not like super expensive over the top increase, you know, but just some slight decreases, especially on empowers. You know, maybe instead of being able to sell them for maybe, you know, 2,000,
Stupid
you know,
wizard.
maybe like 800
Listen to your
at
best
the most,
judgment
you know,
after
maybe
all.
make them sellable for
you
maybe,
right.
I don't know,
Sit on the
400,
throne of
300.
Dragonspire.
You know, that is I think is a reasonable amount that isn't going to gut empowers fully. You know, 400 to 600, you know, 400, maybe 300, 250, you know, just something that isn't just like 30, 40, 50, 60. That's just not going to cut it. And empowers are a very valuable resource that, you know, a lot of people need and a lot of people want, especially if they're trying to get money. So, you know, that, and then also the other thing that definitely needs to be addressed is the requirements for your spell writing, or spell weaving. I call it spell writing, I'm sorry. Spell weaving, you know, to get that weaving level up, maybe make some of the requirements for your labors a little bit easier. You know, I think the quest line stuff in the adventure party, I don't know. Like, the adventure party, they don't really give you, like, a hands-on tutorial about how it works, and, you know, a lot of people I don't think, utilize it, especially free-to-play players that, you know, there are probably a lot of players that don't understand this feature exists, and then you're telling them to do this event, get in an adventure party and help somebody with Crocotopia mainline quest. You know, it's not going to get, you know, you're going to have those people that just don't understand. Now, I am glad that they have made a 5th labor that, you know, and then you could do, you know, but that is the one thing that they did add, is they added a 5th labor. It's another boss fight that you need to do, but that's a good step in the right direction, as you can get your spell weaving level up by just fighting. You know, you don't have, you know, if you so choose, you could fight all the mobs and all the bosses to get your spell weaving up. Or if you wanted to do some fishing, you could do some fishing. But then again, the fishing is mainly not pets, but fish that are fairly rare. But so far, you know, this has been a great update. I hope to see what they do in Test Realm tomorrow when they open it back up. And hopefully we do see some good changes that will make it a lot more pleasing to do when we finally get it back. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about the update so far. What you would, you know, what type of changes would you want King's Out to do? You know, maybe improve on with the update. And, you know, check out Sauce's video about the spell weaving requirement problem and how it needs to be, you know, the numbers, you know, because I don't have the number sheet off the top of my head, but it's a lot, and, you know, definitely if you add up all 7 wizards. But either way, I hope to see you guys on the stream. It's going to be PvP prep for Grandmaster Life PvP. Hope to see you guys there. If you want to come, I'll see you guys in the next one.